What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna take a look at the brand new 2021 Ford Ranger Lariat with the Tremor Off Road package. Huge shout out and thank you to Mooresville Ford for providing this Tremor Ranger for today's video. Definitely check out their website linked down below. They have a huge selection of brand new Fords. So let's get right into this off-road focused Ranger. And the model that we're looking at today is a Super Crew finished off in carbonized gray, has the Equipment Group 501A and the trailer tow package, and an MSRP at $47,200. Underneath the hood, the Ranger utilizes the 2.3 liter inline 4-cylinder EcoBoost engine. This cranks out 270 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. It's paired only to the 10-speed automatic transmission and sends the power to the rear wheels. Of course, this does have the 4-wheel drive transfer case. With a curb weight around 4,400 pounds and running on an 18-gallon fuel tank, you can expect 19 miles per gallon in the city and 19 out on the highway. And then the overall wheelbase is 126.8 inches with length at 210.8. Width is 73.3 and height is 71.5 inches. As far as off-road capabilities, the Tremor does utilize a Fox suspension with 2-inch monotube dampers as well as rear piggyback reservoirs. We get a set of off-road tires, and then ground clearance is over 9 inches. Approach angle is 28.7 degrees with breakover at 21.5, and then departure is 25.4 degrees. Now taking a look at the exterior styling, you're going to see a set of LED headlights with LED daytime running lights. They have a dark gray housing and a clear lens. They look really sleek in the front end of the Ranger. You're also going to see body color grille surround with gloss black right in the center with the Ford logo. Ranger is written out in the top, and you'll see the red trim accent on the farthest side, which is part of the Tremor package. We get a dark gray front bumper with 4 parking sensors, steel tow hooks, as well as LED fog lights on each corner. And you're going to see huge openings in the lower and upper grille to allow maximum cooling to the radiators as well as the engine's intercooler. The front end has sharp lines that flow seamless to the hood, and you're going to see a lot of sharp lines within the hood with more of a boxy design up top, giving it a really wide appearance. The hood even goes all the way over towards the fenders to help give that front end a muscular look. As we move to the side profile, this has a set of 17-inch wheels finished off in a magnetic gray. They're a split spoke design, and you can see the blacked out Ford logo right in the center. They're wrapped in a General Grabber all-terrain tire, and you can see bulges in the fender flares. They flare out about 1 inch to give it that wider appearance, and you're also going to notice the actual body molding itself has a sharp line around the fender flares to really emphasize the size of the tires and to make this look more off-road focused. We have Ranger Lariat logo up in the front fender and a really sleek line running through the lower portion of the door panels. This also has an upgraded set of running boards with a textured black design for the actual step. And then the Ranger gets body colored door handles and body colored mirror caps with an integrated LED turn signal. You're also going to see black trim all around the windows, and then really good proportions all around with the full crew cab and 5-foot bed. We have Tremor decal on the back of the bedside, and the truck looks really sporty from the side profile. And then moving to the rear end, you can see the taillights all integrated in the back of the bedside. They're finished off with red housings. We have the blind spot sonar in the lower portion, and then a really sleek look overall. The tailgate has Ranger stamped into the lower side, and then Ford logo right in the center with the standard backup camera integrated into the bottom. The tailgate release handle is up top with a lockable feature, and then down below we get a body colored rear bumper with 4 parking sensors, your trailer hitch right in the center, and then all the connections to the left of the license plate. So there's a good look at the exterior and some of the specifications for the Ranger with the Tremor Off Road package. This is a really sweet looking truck. I like the additions and it looks pretty sporty. We have Ford's key fob. If I go ahead and lock the truck and then double tap on the engine start stop button, the 4-cylinder EcoBoost will roar to life. You can hear it idling. Just pressing it once, it's going to automatically shut off. Then all I have to do is grab the door handle. It's going to automatically unlock the truck, and we can check out the interior. The Tremor Off Road package also gives the Ranger a black leather interior with Miko suede accents. If we go ahead and take a look at the door, it's trimmed all in black. We have some black leather along the armrest with some padding and contrast stitching. We also have all of your window controls and then the grab handle and your door release with lock and unlock. We have storage down below with a water bottle holder, And then moving inside, we have some power controls for these seats on this left side, as well as a manual recline. You can see the smooth leather and contrast stitching, and then this nice Miko suede. It's a really cool material. You can see the striping going up the backrest with more of the stitching along the bolsters. We get Tremor embroidered in the backrest as well, with more of the stitching around the headrest. Really cool looking. And then if we take a look at the steering wheel, wrapped in black leather with white stitching. And then now inside, keeping my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. Taking a look at the gauge cluster now, we have an analog speedometer right in the center, and then an LCD screen on the left and the right. To control those screens, we have controls on the left and the right of the steering wheel. If we go ahead and take a look at the left side screen, tapping OK on the left of the steering wheel, we can scroll through this menu and see a lot of different things. We have a tach that'll come up, engine temperature can join it. We can continue down, seeing pitch and roll with your steering wheel degrees. We have a digital speedometer readout, tire pressure, and then a few more things. Going back, we can go into your trip 1 and 2. You have fuel economy that'll come up with a few different things in this screen. And then I can go down into the driver's assistant, see all of the safety settings, and then into a settings icon. If we go over to the right side now, scrolling through this, going under entertainment, you can see your radio that'll come up. You can scroll through this, all your different radio stations. We have navigation as well that can come up, which is pretty cool to see. And then your phone integration. So very simple, and you get some nice tech in the gauges. And then taking a look at the steering wheel now, we have all of your cruise control settings to the left. And then on the right side, we have Bluetooth and audio. We have the windshield wiper controls to the right on the right stalk, and then turn signals and high beams over on the left stalk. To the left side of the steering wheel now, we have all of your headlight controls, as well as the dome light for the bed, one of the air vents, mirror controls, and then some white stitching along this dash. It has a cool design, looks like leather, definitely nice and sporty. And then very cool for the Tremor, we have 6 auxiliaries right here. So if you want to add lights or winches, you can add different things, and it's already ready to go, which is really cool to see, especially for an off-road focused version. You can see Ranger stamped over into the plastic on the right side of the airbag cover, and very sleek running across the dashboard. Moving to the sync infotainment screen, you can see in our home screen we have a few different items like phone, radio, and your navigation. We can also tap into each menu to get a full view. We can go under climate control and everything comes up very quickly. You can easily do everything. You have your fan speed right in the center, all your different zones, dual zone temperature and everything. We have the phone integration as well, and then a full navigation screen that'll pop up. Pretty simple to use, nice and HD graphics. We have an apps icon, and then your settings logo with a few more items. You can scroll over. If I go ahead and put the truck into reverse, your backup camera is gonna come up with your parking sensors, pretty HD, and I like how you can even see your trailer hitch. And if I tap this plus icon, you can get a better view of the hitch with a guideline, which is great for towing. This truck can tow almost 7,000 pounds, so definitely usable to have. Putting it back into park now. Beneath the screen, you have physical controls for all the climate as well as radio. We have volume on the left, tuning on the right, then a few more buttons. All of the controls as well as your heated seats and the on off. Then we get 2 12 volts down below, 2 USB ports, and a little bit of storage. And then moving to the controls down here, we have your downhill assist, we have a trailer icon. You can turn on and off your parking sensors and start stop, locking rear differential as well as the traction control. And then your 4-wheel drive. We also do have the terrain management you can tap to customize how you'd like this off-road. We have 2-wheel high and all the way into 4 low. And then taking a look at the shifter now, we have plus and minus. You can hold gears a little bit better, which is great for towing and off-roading. You have some leather trim on that, a manual parking brake with leather on the boot. You get your 2 cup holders, and then a nice armrest with the leather and stitching. Pulling this handle up, we get a little bit of space in here, good enough for a few smaller items. And then the glove box to the right, which is lockable. You have a nice amount of space in here as well for smaller things. And then one last look at the interior. The Tremor looks pretty cool in here, especially with the seats. I think that's a really nice touch, just making it look a little bit more sporty and a little bit more premium. And the dash and the switches are a really cool touch. And then to go ahead and check out the rear seat space, I can open up the door. The door panel is finished off just like we saw up front with the same trim, and the back seats even get the same design. We have that Miko suede, all the stitching, and then the smooth black leather. Really cool overall look. This is a 3-seat bench row. There's also a strap in the front of the seat that you can pull this up and lock it into place. We have quite a lot of storage space down here with 2 individual buckets, as well as some tools right in this left side. In front, we have some storage behind the front seats, and then you get 2 USB ports, a 3-prong outlet, and a little bit of storage in the center. All right, so we are sitting now in the back of the Ford Ranger. I'm 5'11" sitting back here. I have a pretty good amount of headroom, maybe like an inch up there, and then my knees have a few inches as well. You can see there's a little bit of a cutout. I do have the driver's seat set at my height, so I'm fitting here pretty comfortably. The angle of these seats is also pretty good to where it's a pretty comfortable vehicle. It's not a big, crazy comfortable vehicle like an F-150 or something like that, but nonetheless, it's pretty practical back here. We have a good armrest over on the left side and then a huge window. And then I also like you get a manual sliding rear glass. I can pinch that and open it up for added airflow. And then right in the center, you can pull this strap and open up this center piece. We have a nice little armrest down here as well as 2 more cup holders. So definitely a pretty roomy rear seat for being a smaller size truck. And then last up, let's take a look at the bed space. I can grab the handle and open up the tailgate. We have an optional black spray and bed liner from Ford all around to give it that extra durability. You're also gonna see tow hooks up front with the Ford logo. And then on the back side, we also get an extra set of tow hooks, making this a pretty durable and usable bed. And then the tailgate doesn't weigh much. With one hand, I can easily lift it up and close it. All right guys, so we are setting off now in the Ranger EcoBoost with the Tremor package. Just getting up to about 4,500 RPM there, getting up to about 50 miles an hour. This EcoBoost packs a pretty good punch. It's much more peppy and powerful than you would expect. You know, a truck like this with the weight even, you wouldn't expect a 4-cylinder get up and go like it does, but this is a peppy setup. I do like the engine. I think it's pretty cool. So as far as just ride comfort and getting used to this car, or this truck I should say, getting these seats comfortable, you have the manual recline, but everything else is pretty much powered, so you can get it in a nice comfortable position. The padding's really good, and I love the material. I especially love the two-tone on it. Armrests are in a great place, and it's a comfortable truck just to be sitting in here cruising. You have a really good view out of the windshield, and I really love how you can see all the contours in the hood. You have pretty large glass on the left and right, and then all the mirrors do a pretty good job letting you see what's going on behind you. And then being a pickup truck, there's not really any blind spots over your left and right shoulders. It's pretty easy to see out of a truck like this. I like the contours on the dashboard as well. As far as normal cruising, we're going about 50. It's pretty smooth. That Fox suspension absorbs these bumps really well. And of course, being the Tremor package, that off-road focused version, that suspension is going to do a great job when you're off-roading, hitting trails, even higher speed bumps, like with the reservoirs in the back. That's going to do a good job keeping the heat controlled for the oil inside the shocks, and just manage how the suspension is going to work. I just hit a little bump there, and this truck can take it pretty well. This is a cool trim level to get. It's kind of like a Raptor version, but not quite, but you do get this suspension, which is nice to see. As far as the fit and finish, I think it's a pretty good use of materials. The leather that you feel, I'm sure it's vinyl, but it does feel nice and high quality. Road noise and wind noise, you don't really hear much. You hear just a little bit of, I'd say maybe a little bit of wind noise, but the tires are nice and quiet, and it's a comfortable truck. You don't have to be yelling to talk to your passengers, and you can just drive it like a normal daily. We've got a sharp turn coming up. Takes it really well, then getting back to some power. The torque is nuts. I mean, you don't get that in the V6s offered in the competitor trucks, I will say. This thing's got some torque. So we're going about 50, taking some higher speed turns. I think this is where you're gonna notice that suspension doing its thing. You know, there's a little bit of body roll. You can definitely feel that a little bit. But honestly, this truck is pretty composed, taking sharp turns like that, and then hitting the brakes. There's not much noticeable brake dive. You don't feel it just dive really quickly. It's a gradual, like, slow down. So I think the suspension is really nice in this. And off-roading in trucks like this, the suspension kind of makes it or breaks it. And I think this is definitely going to be a sweet version to get if you are planning to hit some trails. And then I like being a Lariat, you still get all the nice normal interior things, the heated seats, the full infotainment setup, the Bang & Olufsen audio. So you get a lot of the luxuries and the refinements that you're gonna want in more of a daily, but then you get the fun stuff with the differential, the trail control, all that kind of thing, and just gives it a lot of fun aspects. Getting back up to some speed now. The 10-speed automatic also does a good job delivering the power. You don't really feel the gear changes, and it doesn't seem like it's shifting a million times. We're up into 8th gear right now, cruising. RPM is at 1500. We're now in 9th gear. So I think that's a good way to keep the revs low and not really stress the engine. And then switching to the POV, we have a pretty sharp left turn. Nice and flat, and then a lot of power to get you up and going. This is a cool trim level. I think the Tremor package is definitely a way to go, especially if you're going to actually hit the trails. I love having all of the controls here with the off-road settings. That's a nice touch. But like I was saying, visibility and everything, really good view around, nice use of materials. It's a nice looking truck. I feel like this trim level, it has a lot more sporty touches than more of a basic one, and kind of gives this a nice modern touch. I think more of the base model trucks don't feel quite as modern, so I like this one. I like the layout a lot, especially the seats and the visibility and everything. Hard truck to argue with. Some people don't like the EcoBoost, and I get it. You know, a 4-cylinder in a truck is a little weird, but in today's day and age, you know, they're really making some crazy power and some crazy capabilities out of small engines. And when you drive it, I mean, it honestly does get up to some speed with some power. That's up to 60 without even stressing. That was barely 4,000 RPM. So definitely an adequate power plant. And one thing really cool, kind of a little Easter egg, in the lower portion of the windshield, it actually says Ranger, which is kind of in the glass. That's a nice little touch. But yeah, that is the all-new 2021 Ford Ranger Tremor package on it. I don't believe they've done the Tremor before on this. That's kind of a new off-road package they're offering to quite a few of the Ford lineup. It's not quite a Raptor level like we've seen with the F-150. You have the Tremor on that, and then of course the Raptor. But it's a nice mid-level version to get the really good suspension, the trail control, and things like that, but without going crazy with a full-on Raptor. Hopefully we'll get a Raptor in the States, so that would be pretty awesome. But I think that is then it for the 2021 Ranger. If you guys enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for plenty more content to come. And then once again, huge shout out and thank you to Mooresville Ford for providing this Ranger for today's video. Check their website out in the description below. So that's it, guys. I will see you in the next video.